the chip for one of the teams. I'm not sure.
Matilda and Phoveus previously banned in game 1, so watch out for that.
Yeah.
There's
All
the
right, so
Matilda.
it's just the Phoveus then.
Yep. Phoveus, but the way it's looking right now, it's probably the jungle prio still for Twisted Minds.
So yo.
I mean, that's what they've been doing.
Blue yo.
Yeah, Blue Yo, probably. Oh!
Blue yo, it's going to be a just joy.
Blue
side joy.
Yeah, they just take it away from Team Liquid.
Stop himself there.
So the Phoveus goes into, oh, we've seen this the other day. Yesterday, Sanford on the Phoveus. It was just such a huge threat. And they get the Moskov for Oheb. Okay.
Dang, it's been a while since I've seen that look on Oheb's face. Y'all saw that?
What
this
was
is just the draft and he's locked in.
Locked in. I feel like he's mostly been locked in, man.
He's
Like,
so motivated.
Oh my goodness. He seems excited.
he's reinvigorated, I'd say.
Yeah. Whoever
Like, he's revitalized, like the battle spell.
whoever JP decides to play here,
Purify.
he's going to be happy. Oh,
Okay. Gotta catch Eve.
it's a great start again for Twisted Minds, and it does feel like since this is a flex, there's a possibility, there's a chance that they still kind of reserve one of their fronts for later.
Do you go Valentina or Suyo now?
I'm leaning towards the Suyo.
There you go.
Okay.
All right, they went for it.
They weren't gonna.
This
around.
has to be the most common jungle matchup right now.
Yeah.
Suyo Joy.
Like,
They're just
Suyo
too
Joy.
good.
It's just too
They're
good.
too good, but not as broken as the Fanny that you would ban it out. So it just comes through and then they're like necessary evils.
Yeah.
It's sad. It's a sad situation in the jungle right now.
It's sad, but it's also still like a highly mechanical matchup.
And I'm glad to be, of my age, being able to play Suyo.
Yeah.
He's a mechanically demanding hero. And I'm like,
You still got it, basically,
Yeah.
But I do
hard.
hope that the jungle change. Like, I hope we see some difference in the jungle over the season
True.
because I don't.
Hayabusa and Alpha are like solid secondary.
Yeah, it's just
we did see the Hanzo, but
this
like,
is
for
a
once.
different iteration of what Fred. Who was Fred always up against? Fred Barrett.
Fred Barrett, Baksha,
Fred Baksha.
Fred Martis.
Just with way more cooler actions.
Yeah, and a lot of us thought that, like prior MPL, that they might come back, but
I mean, they're still out there. They're still always just,
teams don't seem to use it just yet. I mean,
keep them in the back pocket.
what's the most recent back show we've seen from Flap on the EXP lane, right?
Yeah.
It was
In SPS.
It was back in
SPS.
SPS, but other than that, we've been sticking with the Assassins or the Fredrins or the Alphas. Oh yeah, Alpha. We didn't mention
Still
that.
no roamer for Liquid. Is Twisted Minds going to ban one more? They're going to take out the Cho. JP's Cho was a menace in game 1.
Yeah,
It
there's
was.
the Cho, there's the Jawhead too.
Oh, Hylos.
Oh, but they take out the Hylos instead. So, yeah, they can potentially pick that up right here. But, like, there are a lot of other options if ever they still want to save it for later. The Valentina 2 is available. Oh, but
the
they...
Jawhead.
Yeah, they...
Jawhead Valentina, though. If it happens.
Yeah.
It's possible. So, for Outplayed, does he go Irithel here? You want to be...
I think you want to, you want to have enough of that mobility.
Yeah, you want to be... I think that's the only one left. There's a carry.
I hate it.
But
Jungle and gold are so tight.
I think
Like, just in general. Like,
Yeah, there's literally
for the
4
meta.
heroes.
Yeah.
If you don't pick any of the 4, you're losing that matchup.
Yeah. It's
hard.
the Irithil, the Granger, the Moskov,
The
and the Harith. And then you throw in a carry here and there.
Right? Yeah.
But I don't think carry's done too well, like, overall. There it is, the Hilda. There's the Irithil.
Okay. So for Sanji, does he go Valentina here? So they could also kind of have that Terrify, especially looking at the way Twisted Minds is definitely just going to go all in. This time they have the Hilda.
Could he Vex too here?
Farsa, too.
Farsa, Vex.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a Farsa.
There you go. That's a lot of zoning and range once again. I mean, either of these two teams can do it, honestly.
It's just one of those picks, too, that, anytime you pick up that Farsa, it's like, at least you have that getaway card, which is the Wings by Wings.
Yep.
If you have to get out of an Avatar of the Guardian, or if you have to go ahead and try to get out of that Death Box that's going to be set up here. So you have so many of your own personal options to deal with, but also we have seen very aggressive Farsa players,
Yep.
Sanji being one of them too, you know, that likes to go ahead, utilize a feathered airstrike with the flicker forward and you know, just whittle down members before the fight even breaks out. So, and knowing him, he's probably going to play it that way. So,
Yeah.
Again, we're going to take one last look at both the lineups here as we get ready to jump into game 2. Right now, tlph off a dominant game, won under 13 minutes for the previous game, and a 12K gold lead. Will they just do the same exact thing and have a Liquid Stampede victory, ending in a sweep to take on week 1 against Twisted Minds?
I mean, you can already imagine how things are going to turn out in as early as the first minute. There's so much high poke capabilities, fast clear, and range coming in from Team Liquid Philippines. But just the same, Hajizi, he can also do just that using the Eve. It's just that when the Jawhead gets closer to you, it seems a little more threatening than if it were the Gatot, who doesn't have stacks. If you don't decide to attack him, you don't really get to get hit. But it's the Jawhead, the missiles, the smart missiles, they just keep going at you.
Oh, speaking of, it happened again. That Jawhead Suyo combo.
They love it, man. I mean, like you said, we saw this back in M6 quite a bit, actually, and it works out so well. And even looking at this, you know, the fact that you're able to go ahead and lock someone down and possibly get a kill. But we saw them try to do it in the previous matchup, and it didn't work for Chaknu when he played the Jawhead. So this time around, tlph are looking for that execution. But even the Phoveus, you know, we didn't talk too much about the Phoveus in the draft, and we all know that Phoveus alone is enough sometimes to just be that front line.
Yeah.
So that's why JP, he doesn't have to worry too much about, you know, protecting, or he could just be even peeling half the time because he knows that Sanford is actually enough tankiness for those fights in the skirmishes later on. So not anything too much happening in the early game while they get those level 4s available for this first turtle.
And it's kind of the same idea, similar to how you don't get much damage just yet to deal with the Phoveus if he ever decides to go in, not until later if you were Twisted Minds. So I feel like they're able to, or they will be able to manage this pretty well. It can be either Sanford, it can be either JP leading the fights, depending on who they like.
Amazing flank angle by the backliners, nay, the frontliners of Twisted Minds, forcing an early revitalize. The answer from tlph. Hajizi swiping away, real world manipulation, early pop on the ult, and tlph stand their ground.
They stand their ground right now. Good choice for tlph to kind of back off out of their RWM, and now they're going to go for this turtle.
Oh, Sanji's not for yet.
Very low, backing out. Sanford down to a third of his health, healing up with some infernal pursuits. Hajizi draws first blood. Turtle still standing. Caldeezy does secure. MP the King looking to punish. Caldeezy backing off. He goes down. MP gets one, gets a double. JP falls two.
Okay, well, that was interesting because I feel like tlph was like, can we do this? Can we not?
Yep.
Sanji wasn't level 4, and that was a big part of it.
Yep, and the way they were able to force out the flicker immediately from Sanford the first time they decided to go in, it felt like Team Liquid Philippines were already ready, even despite Sanji not being level 4 just yet. But just because Twisted Minds didn't engage and decided to fight when they were prepared themselves, it favored them a lot more than it would have favored Team Liquid Philippines.
So big pickup in the early game already for Twisted Minds, changing the course of already what happened in game 1 by getting the 3 kills and, you know, getting that double for MP the King is great for him on this Joy. So we'll see how he's able to go ahead and utilize this small wheel.
The AOG plus the real world manipulation. The answer, Sanji's blatant disrespect of Twisted Minds zoning. Now JP's gonna go unless he survives as Caldeezy takes down Sensui. Daddy JP refuses to go down.
That was a clutch usage of either the ejector or the unstoppable force to gain a little bit of shield just to sustain him right when he was under the turret and when he knew he was safe. So there were still these micro decisions that are going on. JP refused to die at that moment.
Oh no, outplayed.
He's a
Running
Ducati.
through, survives, but only for a second more. Daddy JP finds one, Sanji goes, MP the King takes him down. Caldeezy looking to survive, but no, MP wants blood. Gets another, gets a double. Ohem pushing them back. Hajizi and James, their former teammate, backs off.
Great response.
Yeah, the team fights, they seem to be coming from all angles. If you were Twisted Minds here, you could expect like MP the King to just do his job, come into the back lines, and then Sensui as well. They are controlling the areas in which the team fights are happening really well, and they always catch Team Liquid Philippines right after they've used up some of their major resources. Similar to how Sanji was caught in that moment, he was in that spot because he needed to take down Outplayed. And in as much as successful that he was, there was an immediate response from Twisted Minds.
Ejector onto one. James gets popped in between the tangos, and Sui dropping the revitalize. Easy jumping into the pit. Retribution on the turtle. SOD thrown out by Oheb, wailing away. Spear, 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 pushing Outplayed back. And look at the back line. Hajizi goes in the front, and in the back it's Sensui. All for Liquid. They've equalized 5-5.
That fight was split up ideally and perfectly for Team Liquid Philippines. Sanford was able to manage the members that were assigned to him, and Team Liquid Philippines were able to focus on taking down the members that were in the middle of them all. So this, with just that single sequence, the lead is immediately back in Team Liquid Philippines' hands.
Sometimes you've seen it so many times, but you still ask yourself, how did Carl Teasy manage to go ahead and just take that away? I mean, earlier...
James, that poor young man gets torn in half. You were saying about
I was going to say earlier, man, you know, we saw the joy.
Sanji, he's not done. Sensui, he's going to find his man. Entry into the AOG. Now the punish. JP, Sanford, and Oheb says you do not do that to Sanji.
Let's just forget that note. And that, TLPH is just making it work.
It seems like they don't want you to finish what you're saying. But that's just how quick the turn of events are starting to be for both of these teams. Quick look at the items. It seems like the mid laners are able to manage things pretty well.
JP.
Oh,
MP.
but wait.
Oh no, MP gets caught out of the shutdown by Carl Teasy. The response, James, Hajizi, and Outplayed, taking down Dad, and now Carl Teasy, the SOD from Oheb. James gonna get punished here. The Spear of Misery knocks him into the wall in turret range. Sanji, close quarters combat, taking down Outplayed. Oheb, a man possessed, goes for one more, survives, and now Sensui falls. It's a wipeout.
And Oheb survived all of that too, and now TLPH will get the turtle.
Okay. I am trying to recall exactly how things turned out when we were watching that top lane. But at first, it did seem like the shutdown onto MP the King felt like an opportunity for Twisted Minds to eventually look for a trade. But that wasn't the case. Even when they were able to close the gap, get in front of Sanji, not even the most high mobility, one of the most high mobility marksmen such as the Earthel was able to dance around the stuns, the curse of the crowds, and now they're in full control. They're able to zone away Twisted Minds, and what's more interesting is the fact that... wait.
San.
Anyway, what was more interesting is the fact that even for James, right? They're not afraid to commit the ejection. They can burst him down.
Yeah, they can. They're going to burst down this turret too. Tier 1 in the mid, finally going down. And it looks like,
JP finds the ejector on Outplayed. He didn't even have a moment to respond. Hajizi goes down. Oheb, nothing personal, brother.
He missed him, or I don't know.
He didn't miss him. He found him. But yes, he does miss him, I would assume.
He misses him in that way. But man, Oheb is just locked in. I mean, you mentioned he had the game face on earlier on. And he's playing like it on this Moscow right now. And it just seems like things have just turned.
The Holy Shields to be proc for that bottom lane turret. Oh, what?
40 with the false engage and the eventual Infernal Pursuit, forcing Sensui to answer back. Hajizi goes down, turret falls. Sanford still standing, traded up for 3. And finally Outplayed founds 1. It's over! Under 10 minutes, the Liquid Stampede sweeps through Twisted Minds.
I think that was about 9 minutes or so. That was out. What has to be one of the fastest games of week 1. But oh my gosh.
The whole season.
The whole season at this point, that's a Liquid Stampede.
What? Those perfectly timed decisions that from the moment they threw in that last minion card to immediately take out the Holy Shields, to the moment that Sanford flickered in, forcing the